Hi, this is Zekkaina, and I'm going to be reading an excerpt from Young Jedi Knights, book 5, Darkest Night. In her quarters, Tenelka sat fascinated by the tiny holographic image of dark-haired Anakin Solo holding a cluster of brightly colored twine. She couldn't figure out why the twins' little brother would have sent her a message. She had only met the boy once, on Coruscant not long ago. I know how independent you are, Tenelka, so I hope you don't mind my doing this, Anakin's recorded voice said. But when Jason and Jaina told me how hard it is for you to braid your hair since the accident, I took it as a problem to solve. You may have figured out a bunch of this stuff for yourself already. Anakin's holographic face smiled faintly. But even if you have, it was still a challenging puzzle, and I enjoyed it. The Solo twins, who had delivered the holographic message to Tenelka after a long visit with their father, sat nearby on the floor of her chambers. Jaina rolled her eyes and chuckled. That's my little brother. This is a fact, Tenelka said, shifting her concentration back to the glowing hologram. The boy's image held the multicolored twine in one hand and threaded the fingers of the other hand through it, neatly separating the colors into individual clumps. Tenelka unconsciously lifted her hand to her head and threaded her fingers through some unbraided strands of her red-gold hair. Moving with deliberate precision, Anakin slid his hands down the brightly colored strands, twining them together with the fingers of one hand as he went. See, it can be done if you approach the task from a different perspective. The sequence cycled through again in slow motion, while Anakin said, I tried adding decorations several ways, but it worked best for me if I put the bead or feather in my mouth first. That way I didn't have to let go of the braid to pick it up. Ah, Tenelka nodded her approval of the logic. Experimentally, her fingers began to twine a few strands of her hair, following the single-handed technique Anakin had concocted. The hologram shifted to a different scene. Anakin standing beside a fall of long glossy brown hair, caught up in a dozen Dathomir warrior braids decorated with feathers and beads. The view pulled back, and Anakin gestured to his handiwork, looking both pleased and a bit embarrassed. As you can see, Mom let me practice on her. The tiny holographic image of Chief of State Leia Organa Solo turned with a warm smile and then spun in a graceful pirouette to give a better view of the braids. As the holo recording ended, Tenelka nodded seriously, considering the new technique. With practice, she thought she could manage it herself.